Are these relevant? Are these good for us, for India, this one, as it exists now? The first thing I see is most of these are based on data crunching. It's all data. And the data which they are based on Western data, not Indian data, not the African data, not the global South. In fact, we don't have data. We don't know how to preserve the data. Thank God for the British rule. We had the system of census. Population, these figures were very well taken. Census of the animals were very well taken. They also introduced the system of healthcare. Health statistics are also good in India. But otherwise, our statistics, our figures are, if you have seen the newspapers in the last 10 years, what exactly is our GDP also, we don't know. I mean, there were so many questions about it. Is this right? Is this wrong? I mean, these are all inflated. Okay. So the sanctity of the Indian data, first of all, the lack of data, two, the reliance on that data is not there. And somebody gave small examples. For the heart patients in US, they give what is called what is it called? In fact, I just read it in the newspapers. But if the same medicine is given to Indians, it spoils our health. In fact, I'm sorry, I forgot the name. So it can't be indiscriminately used, the Western data. So you have to first of all improve the data, And data protection is very important. And there are other impacts. The most important one is equity, and then bias, machine bias, the logarithmic bias, and all that. And they say, in fact, in one of the technical magazines only I was reading, whether the ChatGPT creators and others, they themselves know what is involved in these algorithms, which they are using. Some of them they compared it to the black box which you find in the aeroplanes, when it collapses, then you get that and find out. And then extract some information from that, and various interpretations are given to that. In the same way, the originators or the discoverers of this ChatGPT, sometimes they may not themselves understand the logic of that. And so, considerations of equity, sympathy, empathy. Somebody said from the speakers, empathy is very important. I think these things would be missing in this. So that is the second, this one, So unless and until you develop your base of Indian data and use that for our purposes, I think it would only be a sort of marginal utility. I wouldn't say it is not of any great utility. So, in fact, the ChatGPT, these examples are many, but somebody said, I love nature and I also like travel. But can you write a poem for me, by me? It produced a poem, about 10-line poem. He also said 10-line poem. So, now if creativity also has gone this way, what are you for? I mean, the human being, you have a brain, you have creativity, you have art, you have to do so many things. So, I don't put much this one on the ChatGPT or this is so-called generative AI. It's not only generative AI, there are many varieties of AI now coming up, and each one. And so, but the Western markets would like to certainly sell their products, which are developed at great expense. And impact, there are other impacts like impact on employment and some jobs going and all that. Satya Nalina himself has said that